speaking of good vibes,
Mm-hmm.
The Ambassadors issue 2, Mark Millar, Carl Kerschel. I felt so many feelings reading this book.
Yeah, because it's having to choose. Like, all right, so if you put one person and maybe a foundation of a few people together, and you're like, I'm going to choose a few, like 5, 6 people out of the entire totality of humanity to give superpowers to. How do you do it?
How do you do? What is the logical thought process that you have to undergo in order to make that happen? Okay. Again, okay. So here's the thing. For a story that takes place in India, okay, super topical in today's American readership, and I think that's also part of the part that really hits home. We're talking like, okay, warning, folks. There's a mass shooting in here, and it's important that you understand that. That while that happens, that's just a backdrop to a circumstance and scenario.
Yeah.
There's a lot more human connection story stuff here.
Yeah.
Like very emotional sort of story beats, and it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, because there's still the background story of the couple. Like, one has the ability to grant these powers, and the other one is probably evil.
Definitely evil,
I'm not
without
sure.
question.
But they also have massive financial backing. They have powers of their own if it's based on issue 1.
Yes.
If that's the person we're thinking of. So you've got that story playing out as their chess match.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got this real, where the rubber meets the road, humanity, you now have powers.
Yeah.
What do you do with them? Are you a good person? And while you're... God, I forgot how to phrase it without spoiling.
Right.
What price are you willing to pay?
Oh, that's a good one. That's the phrasing.
Maintain everything.
Yeah. This one got me on an existential level because what's interesting is, and I give full credit to Mark for thinking this through, to have superpowers, which is something that gets explored in 8 Billion Genies. There's so many people that would just jump at that, like 1,000,000%. You have to create a scenario that makes having the superpowers a problem so that the antagonist side have a viable thing that they could come back to you and offer. And because really, if you were to offer that thing to a person and as they understood the framework initially, I don't think there's much of a take. Like, you're like, nah,
no, that's skeevy.
Yeah, like super skeeve. I would never. But when you put it in the context of what actually happened, now you go, but what I lost was like a lot though. Like, and I didn't even ask for, like,
yeah, you can't put a quantitative.
You can't. And that's what makes this so brilliant. Like, when you really have to sit down and think about it, I think that's the part that gives it the most heart, is that this is so personal. Like, you have to look at this and go, would you be an ambassador?
Yeah.
Could you be an ambassador? I can tell you right now, I don't think I could. Although I think the next issue is going to really put me in a perspective, because it's the first one that's a mother-son sort of scenario, which I'm like super excited. But this one, man, how do you not be?
It's life-changing,
resentful, right? Like,
in multiple ways.
So much, and because like he couldn't tell anybody that he was offered, and then you're like, wait, you're just going to say no? That could have helped. So like, that is,
Does it make you a bad guy? That's the thing, is like, when you're in that situation, you have these powers.
Yes.
What exactly is defined as a bad guy?
Right. Especially when the bestowing of the power wasn't necessarily something that you asked for. You were designated.
Yeah.
And much in the same way of superhero tropes everywhere, it's usually not a person that's like, hey, I'm going to be a hero. Something happens to them.
Yeah.
And then they choose to become a hero.
Yeah.
Yikes. What a question mark.
Yeah.